Let's go!
So one thing I really wanted to talk about, one of the lead producers at Capcom fighting game division, dude's name is Taka Nakayama. He's the guy that you see always wearing hats on the Street Fighter 5 presentation. He's the dude that's usually like on the left. I think he's like the lead producer of Street Fighter, and he's like one of the head honcho fighting game guys at Capcom now since Ono left. And it's pretty badass because the guy seems to truly give a shit. And you can tell because Street Fighter 5 has more interesting characters and crazy stuff happening to it than almost ever before. So he's had a lot of input in the game over time, and he seems to genuinely have a pretty cool passion for Capcom fighting games. He's honestly one of the reasons that this girl is even making it, that Dan is even back into Street Fighter 5 in some way. Him and I think it's Matsumoto-san, who's the other dude that is on the Capcom Street Fighter broadcast. Truly means a lot that you got a couple of people that are running Capcom fighting game division right now, and they are working their ass off to make things as cool as possible. Nakayama has been under a interesting quest for the past few weeks now, and it involves this. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, like, what the hell this is. Nakayama has been going through the archived art department of Capcom over the past few weeks, and he's been digging up some absolute bangers. This guy has been discovering classic sketches and unseen artwork of the 90s era Street Fighter games by classic Capcom god artists. Kinu Nishimura, she's one of the gods of Capcom art, and there's been a wide variety of other artwork that he's been uncovering. I kind of wanted to go through a few of these and sort of like, without like clicking the translate button, I wanted to see and review some of the efforts that he's been putting into all of this scanning and taking pictures of all this stuff, because this is artwork that previously was sitting in a room, possibly in a folder, uncoordinated and just lying around, and they just didn't have anything to do with it. And this dude is like, oh, well, I think other people might like watching this stuff because people like Capcom fighting games. I'm gonna share some of this stuff on Twitter because he actually has access to it. I'm gonna start scrolling through this guy's art stuff and just giving some raw reactions to some of the games that I've been looking at this artwork for 25 years of my life or something like that. Pretty sure this is early Elena concept sketches, possibly could be from Street Fighter 3 New Generation. Don't know exactly, but that's pretty amazing to see very rough draft characters in here. Probably never been scanned before. I don't think I remember seeing this in any art book. Somehow this guy found possibly a build, a functioning build of Capcom Fighting All-Star, the canceled fighting game. I think Avil was the final boss of this game. By the way, this game was done. I think it was close to being 99% finished, and they needed to do some polish on it, and that was it. But this game was nearly finished. And this was one of Capcom's first 3D fighting games that they would make in-house, and it wasn't made by Eureka. So it's a very weird game, right? It's a very weird game with a very weird history, and apparently it wasn't very good, but to me, it's one of the most fascinating things Capcom's ever done. I would love if this leaked onto the internet in some way at some point. My God, dude, I would love to actually play this game. It's confirmed he just took those photos of the game, so it's running at Capcom. Oh my God. So there's where the last time Akira showed up at a fighting game was this one. Unfortunately, never released. Let's see. Oh my God. So this is the actual original piece of art of Oro's death animation. They had a really cool thing in Street Fighter 3 Second Impact when characters would die. In the left side over here, there'd be a victory pose for the character that won. And then the character that died would have like, oh, a beat up face. Remember that in Street Fighter 2? That characters had like beat up and bloodied and bruised faces and stuff. I loved it. It was so cool. They brought that back for Second Impact and they never did it again. Kinu Nishimura drawing Chun-Li and some character. This looks like CVS2 era. My God, this is definitely CVS2 era. Holy shit, I don't think these drawings have ever been seen before. CVS2 artwork, right? Maybe CVS1? Holy crap. Holy crap, this is amazing. Oh, is this the original design sketch of, what's her name? Ellie? Can't remember what the heck the girl's name is. Effie, that's what her name is. Her name is Effie. It's the girl that Necro is protecting in Street Fighter 3 New Gen all the way to Third Strike. Oh, I love it. Look at all these sketches. Look at the chocolate coffee stains. I absolutely love it. This is fucking amazing. This is the Street Fighter 3 Second Impact Sean victory pose. You would have like Oro dead over here in the foreground and Sean would be in the background, and they would essentially digitize like sprite this whole thing, and that's what you see in the game, you know? And this is very appropriate because you saw this a lot. You saw this pose a lot in Second Impact chat because Sean was godlike in that game. Yoon's victory screen, incredible. Everything done by hand. Like Copic markers, like all this shit. Pretty sure this is Kinu Nishimura, right? Yes, it is. It is. This was all done by Kinu Nishimura. She has a very distinct style. And here's an example of a beat up screen. God, it's such a sick shot. So fucking cool, dude. I love this shit, man. Looking at how the elbow's gonna be, looking like how is the anatomy gonna collide, and then just whipping it up because they're not gonna clean this up from the page, right? This isn't an animation that they're gonna do. They're going to essentially digitize this and turn it into a sprite that'll show up in the game. You know what I mean? Necros is super sad. What? He's also a KOF 15 fan. Elena's is very lewd. I remember this one. Remember the lewd ass Elena win pose, or I'm sorry, loss pose. Oh my God. Holy moly. I love this perspective shit of the arm coming down. I can't tell you how much I appreciated that this was just marker on the page. To make this shit work, like this is legendary art. That it was just, oh, whip it up. There you go. Gotta go. Not a lot of time. I love the extra sketches on the side. Look at, I love it. Because she's super tall, right? She misjudged how high up her hands would go, and they had to add pieces of paper to this. Anyone that had to work within artistical limitations of like animation frames and stuff like that, you always run into this problem where it's like, ah, crap, I got a good drawing here. Now we got to do something. We ran out of page. The original sketch of this one bison sketch that would only ever show up in art books. I don't think this actually shows up in the game. I think this was only for promotional work, you know? Great looking shit though. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God, I did not see this shit. I'm gonna retweet, I'm gonna like that. This was all I ever wanted when I was an artist. Oh my fucking God, look at these lines. I'm pissed, man. This is all I ever wanted, was to be able to do this shit. She is one of the greatest artists that Capcom has ever had. I would argue that like Bangus and, you know, Akimen are like some of the Capcom gods, but I think for me personally, I think Kinu Nishimura and her depictions of Street Fighter and Capcom characters are like the greatest shit. The way she draws Capcom characters just is on some next level shit that she's like the true deity of Capcom characters. Look at this shit. Look how perfect she can draw Ken. I'm tilting my head here. Ow, God, I love it. I fucking love it. It's the actual page. So this is stuff that I literally had an art book and I just studied it, right? And I would draw it and draw different perspectives of it and just try to get my own version of it, to the point where I started getting a lot better at anatomy and figuring out how it works. And the way I did that was seeing how these artists were able to push it, you know? Where were they able to push their anatomy and their art to make it look so fucking cool? Look how fucking cool this arm looks. Oh my God. Look at Nakayama sharing classic Capcom stuff. Dude, he dug out a classic arcade flyer of Captain Commando. I need to shake this dude's fucking hand is what I need to do. I've spoken to him once. I had a very brief conversation with Nakayama-san back in 2014. Actually, I think it was 2015 when Street Fighter V was ending its beta phase, right? Where the betas were over. And I had a chat with him regarding SF5 before the game came out. Literally, he took the time. He had a translator. He asked like all of my opinions about Street Fighter V and its gameplay, and like he was very curious like what I had to say about it. What is his role in Capcom? He was the director of Street Fighter V. His current role, he seems to be a head honcho of Capcom fighting games right now. Now he's like spearheading potentially Street Fighter 6. He's spearheading what's going on with Street Fighter 5 at the moment, doing a lot of shit, because these probably one of the big reasons characters like Akira and Dan even came back, you know? There is no reason for him to do this, right? This is not in his job description. There is no reason why this guy would be digging up this archive of art and all this crazy stuff that nobody would normally give a shit about in the office. And he would be the one to be like, hey, do you like Capcom fighting game stuff as much as me? Check this shit out. Oh, the old, the spring catalog. This has a ton of crazy art in it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The old Final Fight artwork. Look at these depictions. Look at these super 90s chibi depictions. These are not Puzzle Fighter versions of these characters back here. Secret File 20th issue commemorative. Wow. God, he dug that out of the archive. Whoa. Oh my God. They were print stickers for the fucking Mega Man X print stickers that were never used for cartridge labels. Wow. I remember these I think this is Vampire Savior artwork. I believe this is Bengus. Right, chat? This was included in art books for a very long time. Oh, see, okay. You know what? I was gonna say, because Nakayama-san has not been digging up the stuff that I've been really looking forward to seeing, which is obviously Capcom versus artwork, right? I've been really itching to see some original sketches from X-Men versus Street Fighter, Children of the Atom, because a lot of that stuff is not documented, man. There's some art books here and there of official art. There's so little documentation about what the hell happened from Marvel versus Capcom 2, how the choices were made for the characters, like why they did certain things, why is like a Mingo in the game. Like, people have these rumors about like, oh, it was supposed to be a Darkstalkers character. I was always worried that he was going to stray from Marvel side of stuff. Obviously, he doesn't want to show off like, you know, oh, this was stuff we did for a different company. So he was doing original Capcom stuff, but no, he's actually digging up Marvel stuff as well. He's digging up one of the first Marvel projects Capcom ever worked on, which was The Punisher. An extremely horrifically violent arcade game. And believe it or not, actually on that arcade machine back there. Marvel stuff in here. I'm kind of curious if there's any other Marvel stuff because I haven't seen any. Holy crap, is this the original sketch for the Morrigan versus pose? Holy hell. That's so fucking cool. Oh, he must have been on a Darkstalkers kick at this point. Yeah, all this is essentially like lost media, right? Unless there's like a rare situation where they need to scan some things for like a 30th anniversary collection or something like that. This is all stuff that just is sitting in here, almost never to be seen again. The reaction that we would have to seeing some of this stuff is like, dude, this belongs in a fucking museum. There's a couple of Capcom images that are like extremely revered. So much so that if the originals of them could be discovered in some way and we can actually see the original print, I can already name a couple. Hang on a second. Of this shit? This is one of the most iconic video game covers of all time. If the original art for this is somewhere around, like, oh my God, dude. Another one of the most reproduced images in video games. You guys know like the Kaneda bike scene in Akira? Capcom has created something like that, the video game equivalent of that. This has been reproduced in so many ways throughout so many games that it's fucking insane. This is honestly, I think, one of the most popular artworks in video game history, technically, and it's this one. Anybody that's an artist, anybody that's familiar with Capcom stuff knows this is one of the most popular video game images ever. If the original for something like this could be uncovered in some way, my God, dude. Oh my God, this is recent, dude. Oh my God. This is like 2021. Is this Ken with Mel back here? I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Animation frames, like, wow, they actually kept Street Fighter 2 the movie. Wow, holy shit. God, the art style in this game is, this movie is super sick. Horrible Sakura. Oh, oh, I'm gonna bug this dude. I gotta bug him. If he's got, oh my fucking God. There's nothing in this world quite like Marvel vs. Capcom 1 art by Bengus. I have to give a huge shout out. Please, chat, if you want to follow Nakayama-san, please follow him at this Twitter. He has been continually uncovering and discovering a bunch of classic stuff in the Capcom vault of artwork and is still scanning in, you know, incredible classic Capcom art that has never actually been seen before. So please, if you guys give a shit about this stuff as much as I do, go shoot him a follow. I really hope that at some point he can discover some classic Marvel vs. Capcom 2 art. I I really hope that some of that stuff is still around in some way, maybe MVC 1 or X-Men versus Street Fighter. I can't wait for more, and it's really damn awesome to see people running the fighting game division at Capcom seemingly giving as much care and attention to the legacy of their games as much as we have a huge passion for it, because this is the stuff that truly is what like shaped me as an artist, especially around this time.